All right. Next on the project, we have railroad crossing signs. And again, I've changed the numbers on these, so don't just take our answer here and put that as your answer, or it's going to come out wrong. But this will show you how to do the problem when you're doing it on your own. So if we take a look at this, the railroad crossing signs have a diameter of 25 inches. So you can see here, if each of these is 25 across, that's how we get 75 here. And 25 of 2 25s gives us 50 on this side. So it is an accurate drawing. Here's how they arrange the signs when they do it. About how many square inches of aluminum is left over after the signs have been made. So we start with a rectangle, right? You start with a rectangular piece of metal. That's 75 by 50. We cut out 6 circles. So then we cut those out, and they want to know how much is left over. What's left laying? Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the rectangle, and then we're going to subtract the area of the 6 circles. And then whatever is, that will give us the leftovers. Because it's just like you're taking a rectangle, punching out the 6 circles. The formulas work exactly the same way. You take the rectangle, subtract 6 of the circles. And since the circles are all exactly the same size, I can just find them once and multiply it by 6. So I'm going to go over here to find the area of my circle. Again, we use pi times radius squared. The diameter of a circle is 25 all the way across. So the radius would be half of 25, or 12.5. Okay, so to find your radius, you take the diameter and divide it in half. I'm going to calculate these, so I take 12.5 times 12.5, gives me 156.25, and I'm going to take that times pi. Okay, so one circle has an area of 490, about 0.87. And since they're doing inches, I'm just going to go ahead and round that to 491. Okay. The rectangle was 75 by 50, and the area of a rectangle, we just take length times width. So that gives us 3,750. Now all we have to do is figure out what we get if we take the rectangle minus 6 circles. So we take the 3,750 from the rectangle, subtract 6 of the circles, so 6 times 491. That gives me 3,750 minus 2,946. And I get 804. So they are leaving behind 804 square inches of aluminum when they take this rectangle and punch out 6 signs. Okay, don't just write that as your answer, because I changed the numbers from the original question. You will get it wrong if you just write down my number. But if you follow the steps with the numbers they give you, then you'll be fine. Alright, here is the last one. It says a stop sign is a rectangular octagon. The stop sign has a height of 26 inches, and each side is 5.38 inches. The area of a 30-inch sign is how many inches? There's a couple ways you can do this. If you really like finding the area of polygons, you can use that. They've made that easier for us. So have you done the part on polygons? It's the lesson right before this. Have you done that yet? No. Okay. Well, the formula for the area of a regular polygon, which this is 1/2 the perimeter times the opossum. So let's talk about what each of those things are. They told us that each side had a length of 5.38 inches. Okay, so to find perimeter, all you have to do is add up all of the sides. There are 8 sides, and each side is 5.38 inches. So what would our perimeter be? What do you think? We're going to need to know each part of that formula. The P in our formula stands for perimeter. And again, in lesson 7, the one right before this, you do area of regular polygons, so that should help. Okay, so we have 8 sides. They're all 5.38 inches. You can add them up separately, or you can just multiply by 8. And when you do, you get 43.04. Okay? So far in my formula, I have the 1/2, I have the perimeter, is 43.04. I need this A. The A is something called the opossum, which is a crazy word. But the opossum in a regular polygon is the distance from the middle to the middle of a side. So it's this height right here, halfway across the figure, which is why it's nice they told us how high the figure was total. Because if we just go halfway, then if we take our 26 here, our height, and divide it by 2, we know that halfway across our opossum is 13. And I can put that into my formula also. So now I have all of the parts I need. I just have to multiply it out. So I'm going to take 43.04 times 13 and divide it by 2. Okay? And it wanted it to the nearest square inch, so then I'll round that to 79.76 rounds to 280. Right, and that's, if you haven't done polygons yet, that one's a little harder. You could really break it into triangles all the way around and do the individual triangles and multiply by how many you have, like 16, I think. You could do that also.